The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We are back here on The Coaches Show, brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. Time to talk some Eagleville football this morning. Floyd Walker joins us here in studio, and still waiting on that rain, Coach.
Yeah, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit outside, but we were happy that it decided to miss us and not interfere with any of our homecoming festivities. So we were thankful that God spared us yesterday.
We definitely need the rain, but there were some decisions that had to be made, and talked to a few coaches, and some of the decisions were, well, if we're going to get as much rain as we're expecting on Thursday and Friday, I'd rather play in heavy rain and on a harder surface than wait until Friday when it's heavy rain and a soupy surface. So that kind of makes sense. Others that have turf, that's not as much of a concern. So how did you tackle dealing with that this week?
We were just going to play. Because of homecoming.
Right.
We were just going to keep everything on Friday night. We never considered Thursday night. Normally our middle school plays on Thursday night, and we never want to interfere or take anything away from them, even though they moved their game up to Wednesday this week. But we never really let that enter our mind about whether we were going to play on Thursday or move it to a Saturday. So we were glad that we were able to get it in. Again, we were glad we were able to have all the homecoming festivities, and we were glad we were able to come away with a victory.
You know, you and I have been around all of this thing for long enough that
we ain't gonna count the years.
No, I was just talking earlier at the beginning of the show about, when I see Riverdale and Germantown, it takes me back to 1994, and then I thought, well, that's 30 years ago.
At Vanderbilt,
But I never remember hearing this until the last few years about moving games and that kind of thing, and I guess it's probably because of the field and making sure it doesn't get torn up.
I don't know whether it's the field, because back in the day, if you were going to play on Friday night, you played on Friday night.
Right.
There was no such thing as a weather delay or lightning delay. You just played, and it's I think the day of so much information being available to everybody, through your cell phone and through the internet or AI or whatever that may be, and that people are a lot more in tune with what's going on, weather-wise and situation-wise. So I think all that plays into it now.
Everybody's a weatherman.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I think you got so much information now, and you wonder how kids are able to operate and function, because there's just so many things are accessible to them.
Oh, man, you're not kidding. I do think all spring sports coaches, especially, seem to have a minor in meteorology. But you're an outdoor sports guy as well, soccer and all that, all those sports that are played that are outdoors. I don't know. It just, it's a different time.
Well, I think it goes back to safety. Everybody, everything, you want people to be safe. You want your fans to be safe. You want your players to be safe. And if you have to err on the side of caution because of safety, then I'm all for it.
Well, and if you've got 4 or 5 home games, you certainly want your best crowd at all of those games to help pay for everything too.
Right, because like you well know, everything's a lot more expensive now. So
I was talking to somebody about that too, and I mean, just to outfit your team with a new uniform set, I mean, you're talking about thousands upon thousands of dollars.
If you're going to suit a kid up from head to toe, and most schools just let kids purchase their own cleats. So if you're talking about from helmets to jerseys to shoulder pads to girdles to game pants, yes, you're looking at, a helmet nowadays is roughly around between $400, $450. And
one helmet.
The shoulder pads are somewhere around $3. So you're looking at probably upwards of $1,500 to $2,000.
Wow.
To fit one kid.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you don't have to replace all that stuff every year, but it comes around pretty quickly.
It comes around pretty quickly, and we recondition our helmets every year. So that's an expense in itself. So you may purchase a helmet for $400, but now reconditioning each helmet every year is around roughly, well, I think it was like $80 a helmet this year. So I'm assuming it's going to go up. So I'm going to say when we send them off in November, December, they're going to end up probably being $100 a helmet to recondition. So it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, that makes them last longer, I guess.
It does. But again, it's another safety issue.
Yeah, well, and we've definitely seen that in the spotlight as well. We're talking philosophy way too early in this, Floyd. So last night you had Colin Wood, and pretty tight game throughout, really from start to finish. I believe it was. Did you score first?
Yeah, we scored first.
So it was 6-0, then 7-6, and then 12-7.
And then 12-7. Yeah, it was one of those type of deals. It was one of those kind of back and forth type of deals. Great game if you were a fan. Great game if you were players. But it was fun. To be a part of that one. But it was a deal that kind of went back and forth. And I thought defensively, I thought our guys really did a tremendous job as far as tackling the football. I thought every time they ran the ball, we had somewhere in the neighborhood between 6 to 7 kids or more around the ball, which is always a pleasure to see. We did some things offensively that kind of limited us as far as putting points on the board. We had a couple of penalties, a couple of missed opportunities throwing the ball down the field. But I thought Marshall Spann did a tremendous job on defense. I think he had somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 tackles, a couple of tackles for losses. I thought Caleb Snitzer has played fantastic for us all season long, did a great job of running the football last night for us. But when you talk about win, it was a great team win. So we'll take it. Like we talked about last night, we're never going to give a win back to anybody, and we're going to enjoy it for this weekend.
What type of game do you enjoy? Do you enjoy, lots of offense, lots of points, or do you like these defensive, just in the trenches battles?
I like those.
You like to win.
I like those games where every phase of your team plays well, offense, defense, and kicking. All right,
I understand.
I've always, when you're in 1A school, I told them, I said, look, fellas, I ain't ever gonna get to be happy because what positions that I coach is one of those glaring deals. When you coach quarterbacks and defensive backs, everybody knows when those people make mistakes, and they're never going to play a clean ball game. So we had some things to break down secondary wise. We had some things break down quarterback wise, but overall as a team, we were able to move on to the next play and get the stops defensively that we needed, and put the points on the board when we needed to do that offensively. So we're going to be happy with the win. I'll go back and I'll watch this today, and I'll get this out of my system, and I'll move on tomorrow.
Well, that gets that building block into that, because you've got a big game on the road at Huntland to think about next week. But early on in the season, especially, and I know we're midway through the regular season, starting next week with week 5, which is hard to believe. But when you can count on a strong defense, that allows your offense just to kind of find a footing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. You kind of base everything on how you're playing defensively. If you're playing defensively really, really well, then the thing you want to do offensively, you want to make sure that you take care of the football, that you don't turn it over. You want to make sure that you try to put drives together that not only eat up the clock, but also help you change field position, because the further our team has to travel to score points, the more difficult and challenging it is. And you don't want to put your defense in a situation that's not beneficial to them. So that's kind of what you go into it doing. If you're playing well defensively, then you just try to make sure that you do things that help, that helps your defense out. If your defense is in a shootout type of format, then you got to go score some points. So that's kind of been our approach, and it's kind of been kind of worked well for us.
Floyd Walker joining us as we talk Eagleville football today. Snitzer, 21 carries, about 164 yards or so, and a touchdown last night. Really starting to come into his own, isn't he?
He is. I mean, I tell you what, that kid he's put in the work. His attitude has been fantastic, and just the the effort in which he's playing with is I mean, it's truly enjoyable to watch how far he's come in 4 years. So we're excited for him. We're happy for him and the success that he's having, as well as we are for all the other kids on this football team.
It's going to be a really interesting year in the region, isn't it? After, last week with the close with Moore County, last night close with Collinwood, it's going to be.
And Moore County got beat last night by Wayne County. Yep. So it's one of those type of deals to where now that's kind of open it up for anybody region-wise, So you're going to have to play well every Friday night that you have a region game. And now everybody in the region is playing for something. So it's going to be fun. It ought to be exciting for our kids, and it ought to be exciting for our fans.
And protecting the home field in region games is really critical if in postseason. It's
going to be vital. We've got, what do we got? I think we got one more home game in the region. I think we got Wayne County that's got to come to us. The rest of them are going to be on the road. We got to go to Huntland next week, and it's going to be their homecoming. Then we still have to go to Richland and Cornersville to finish up our region play. So we've got some work to do. We've got some challenges ahead. But again, like I told those kids, the thing that we're most thankful for about them is the way that they go about their daily business. They go about their daily business, enjoying one another, practicing with one another, hanging out in the locker room with one another. And when it's time to go to work, they roll up their sleeves and they battle for one another. So if we can continue to do those things, I think we'll be okay.
Well, let's talk about the next one, and that's Huntland, going to Huntland, a place that you can't get to easily.
No, you can't do that very easily, but it's a familiar trip for us. We've been there enough over these kids' careers that they'll know the trip. They'll know they'll know how we're going to travel. They'll know what the locker room is like. They'll know, how we warm up there, and they'll know all those things about it. But it's one of those deals to where we just got to go and take care of Eagle. It's going to be their homecoming. I don't know what their homecoming festivities are like. I'm assuming that it's probably nothing like ours. But we'll go in there. They'll be jacked up, feeling confident about themselves. They didn't play this weekend, so they won last weekend, so they still be feeling good. And we'll just have to go in there and just do what we're supposed to do.
Well, Huntland, they're so accommodating. They even spot you points and things like that when you
right. Yeah, they deduct points. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you mentioned homecoming, and I should have gotten to that at the beginning, but you made it through another homecoming week.
We did, and weather was fantastic, and I thought all of our administrators, everybody who helped with the homecoming festivities, Leslie Trail, I thought our students did a tremendous job. I thought it was a really, really good week, considering all the different challenges that everybody worked through trying to predict what the weather was going to do. But it ended up being a great day for all of the students, especially the elementary kids. So anytime you can put smiles on elementary kids' faces, I think that's a success.
Those future footballers in the years to come, right?
There's a lot of junior pro jerseys yesterday. That's a good sight. So.
And good. It's a unique place to be. There's no other place like it here in Rutherford County for sure. And Eagleville knows how to throw a party.
Yeah, we can do a homecoming with the best of them, huh?
Coach, good luck at Huntland next week, and wish you all the best. 2-1 after next week in the region would be very nice.
It would be. We appreciate you, Brian. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That is Coach Floyd Walker joining us on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
Life changes, then it changes again. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin. A job